Well, good morning, afternoon, or evening. You may delete as appropriate. My name is Chad Landman. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Landman EDC. At Blade Show, all I saw, or at least I thought that I saw, was fixed blades everywhere. There were fixed blades as far as you could see. There were fixed blades at every booth. I picked up one or two at Blade Show, but I'm going to show you the gamut of some that I have picked up over the last few weeks, but also some that have been sent to me. We're going to look at some fixed blades today, small to big, and the prices are also small to big. Let's talk about it. And the first one I've got is a tiny, tiny one. This is a sub 2 inches Magna Cut spear point blade from Bald Man Knife and Tool. I adore this little blade. Comes with this nice taco pocket sheath Kydex with an ulti-clip. It did come with the ulti-clip, I believe. You got a drain hole here in the bottom. I just love this little knife. The micarta scales are smooth. They go over the top. This is one piece of metal, so you're going to have really good rigidity with this in case you do have to use it for something more hardcore. But this has been an excellent little blade. I added a little brass bead here that did not come with it, but this light right here helps with the grip. It's got a nice little flare right there for the index finger, and you've got a nice little sharpening choil, and I just love the grip on this for my specific hand. When I picked this up at Blade Show, I could not believe how nice it was. It's so tiny, but it's so sharp. Magna Cut. I mean, you cannot go wrong. Go check out Bald Man Knife and Tool. This is just a superb little blade. They've got a bunch of other blades. I probably could have spent $600 or $700 at their booth. They had a lot of good stuff. You can tell that some of it's not manufactured. It's all handmade. And so very, very cool to see some independent creators there. I've actually been using this quite a bit. I've really been enjoying it. Those smooth micarta scales, the brass hardware. You got a brass inlet right here. But again, I elected to put kind of a lanyard on there so I could get that full-handed grip on it when I need to. This would be an excellent little camping knife, little food prep knife for smaller things. Very, very cool. Just want to make sure to share that. You probably saw it on my Blade Show video, but this is one of the nicest fixed blades, nicest tiny fixed blades I think I've ever owned. Speaking of nicest tiny fixed blades that I think I've ever owned, this one has some mileage on it, and this one was in my last fixed blade video in the last year, I believe, but it is Nuge Knives. You've got the Wicket. This is not a mini Wicket. I think it's just called the Wicket, but this is Nitro V steel. You got a really awesome drop point blade here, and you just get 2 inches right there, but the ergonomics with the textured micarta here, and you can see I've used this one quite a bit. The micarta's got that nice patina on it, and you've got brass flared kind of inlays right here, not inlays, but rivets right in here. I just love this little knife. You've heard a lot about this knife, but it's got a very nice topographic pocket sheath as well. I put an ulti clip on it. This one sits really nice and deep in the pocket. It's got even a nice little flare right here on the edge to where you can just get that out real nicely. It just clips right in. Let me let you hear that. Yeah, just clips right in. This has been a super dependable, super overworked knife. Probably needs to be sharpened. I'm sure you can see some of the nicks and stuff in the blade, but I have used this extensively for the past year. This was my Christmas present, I believe, in 2023, if I'm not too much mistaken. But excellent guy, excellent maker, Nuge Knives. Go check out Nuge Knives and my link in the description. Again, these last two, this knife and the one from Bald Man Knife and Tool, they're not affiliates or anything like that. I just bought these because I really dig them. The micarta scales, the ergonomics, everything about it. I just really dig this little package. I love it. If I could pick one, it'd be between these two fixed blades, these two tiny little fixed blades. If I could pick one tiny fixed blade, it'd be between these two. And honestly, I don't know which one I would pick. Maybe the Nuge Knives, but the newness of the Bald Man Knife and Tool one is really cool. Go check them out. Let's go a little bit cheaper here for one of our tiny fixed blades, and this is the Outdoor Element Feather. This is the Contour Feather variant in VG10 steel. This was actually a gift from none other than Sam Calicut, EDC NC. And I've got the sheath here. The sheath is actually one of the most unique parts about this blade, but you've got a little 2-inch blade here. Let me show you the comparison here with the Nuge Knives. almost the same kind of profile blade. You've got kind of a Bowie knife flare there with a drop point, more like a clip point actually, just so like a little clip point blade here, but it's not exactly a drop point. And you've got a hole right here in the middle, whereas a hex head here in the middle. You've got jimping on the top. It even says strike on here. And the reason why it says strike on here is because that's where you strike the ferro rod. You turn the blade upside down. You don't ever want to strike a ferro rod on the blade itself. I mean, you don't want to do that, but you strike it right here and you go down. This is built-in ferro rod. Really cool. It actually unscrews from the sheath, and you can actually take it out and use it if you want to. And you can just scrape that onto some kindling and get your fire started. This is very much of an adventurer's knife. Great thing about it is it's only about a $40 knife. And so this is really cool. I love the aesthetics, the kind of the ergonomics here of what you're dealing with. I love the fact that it's got this nice little pocket sheath that just clicks in. I'll dig kind of the G10. You've got the G10 orange multi-layered kind of look right here. You've even got a whistle. Yeah, whistle here at the end. And you've got a little pocket clip that's very, very durable. And you've even got, in a pinch, you've got a sharpening stone right here, a little ceramic sharpening divot right here. And altogether, this is a plastic sheath, by the way. I don't think it's Kydex, but it actually is very, very nice little package here. And you can actually, what Sam had done is he had put some lanyard cord through here, some paracord, and you can wear this as a little neck knife. In fact, some of these tiny fixed blades would be excellent as neck knives. And so, yeah, get you one of these. This is the Outdoor Element. This is readily available on Amazon. My link is below. And it's come in handy. And I can't wait we're going camping this fall, and I cannot wait to bring this with me as something that's fairly inexpensive, but that I can also probably put to good use. All right, so we're moving into a little bit of a premium area here in some of our fixed blades. This is the Knafs Lander 4, and this is their fixed blade variant of their popular Lander series. Now, I managed to snag one of the very, very limited edition. I think they said they had 75 that they made and went up for sale that day of the moon scales. These moon scales are 3D printed moon scales that are actually topographically correct. So that means they're actual scans of the moon's surface. You've got really cool looking rivets here. If you wanted to, you could take these scales off and put them on there. But you'll notice right here that I got number 45 here of the lot that came out. So there was only about 75, I believe, in this. And this is 14C steel. I got this for like $100, I believe. And it's got this cool little lanyard, 3D printed lunar lander bead here. Again, this is not something that you would use camping. You're not going to use this like you would the feather, but you absolutely, this is a collector's item and I just love it. I've got the Moon Lander 2 as well, and I just absolutely adore it. I actually got that at my first blade show. This one I got because I was just happened to be watching their podcast on their Knafs weekly podcast. So make sure that you're subscribed to them. They're very, very good. And I love watching their stuff because they talk about all sorts of different stuff, not just Knafs stuff, but all sorts of knife world stuff as well. It's very, very cool. Ben and I believe Matt is on that with them. And so, again, love this. The stonewash finish here. You've got that interesting geometry blade. It's just this drop point blade, but you've got some really clever jimping on the top of it. So I would absolutely, what I'm going to try to do is probably buy a Lander 4 that I can beat to death, that I can actually use I wouldn't want to use this one as it is nothing more than to cut packages open, because this one's pretty special and it's a pretty good collector's item. Plus, I'm a space nut anyway, and I just love, love, love this style. Schwarz Knives sent over their Overland Sport. Now, this is Magna Cut. This thing is very interesting. It's got this really cool kind of modified reverse Tonto look to it, and this finish on the blade is incredible. It's a stone wash, but it's just a smooth stone wash, and you see that the blade goes all the way through. Now, I love the smoothness of the micarta scales on the on the top side here on the spine, as well as the inside of the handle, that just give you a really solid grip here on the Bald Man knife and tool. But I also love the rigidity and kind of grippiness of these scales, because you can see there's a tiny little lip, and it's only like a millimeter or two, but a tiny little lip where the steel of the knife, which is one piece by the way, comes over. The micarta scales are then bolted to the sides right here. And I love the way that hardware looks. You kind of got these brass looking inlays right here with kind of some nice little grippy texture feelings. I love the way that they have kind of contoured and shaved out this micarta. Really cool. It fits in the hand really, really well. It's about a 2.5-inch blade here. And you can find out more at schwarzknives.com, schwarzknives.com. This is really cool. Pretty minimalist branding, but I always dig this type of jimping. This is going to allow you to kind of cut down into something like this and kind of chop if you want to, if you're doing kind of some food prep. I actually used this for a little bit of food prep the other day, as well as some of the other bigger blades that we're going to talk about. We got 2 more. And this is a really cool little package. Make sure you check out Schwarz Knives right here and check out their website, their Overland Sport, their most popular knife. Very cool stuff, and I love, love, love this knife. All right, so Civivi sent over their Gander. Now this is a pretty heavy duty, nice 14C 28N steel blade. This is kind of contoured G10 right here in orange, and I kind of dig the orange. I usually always default to, you know, maybe all OD green, or you got to gray or black, but it's always nice to have something bright every now and then. And so you've got kind of a contoured handle. This is a satin finish blade. The blade is very wide. Let's do a little size comparison here. It absolutely dwarfs the Nuge knives compared to the Lander 4 here. Much, much bigger. That blade is absolutely huge. This is why I love, and I used this to cook an entire meal last night. So if it's got some bits of chicken on it, as you can see, I was chopping up some chicken. You can see this is just excellent. Now, they put this really long lanyard thing on it. I left it on here for the review just to show you that that's what comes with it. And it's cool. If you like that, that's cool. I just don't need something this long or that's kind of crazy. So this is an excellent wide blade for chopping. This would be excellent for food prep. You've got some nice jimping on the top, a huge place for your index finger right there. And again, I'm going to be removing this. It kind of got in the way when I was trying to chop some veggies last night, but it's really cool. All one piece of steel, as you can see, with some G10 scales kind of slapped on the sides here. But I really do love the satin finish of this, and also kind of this blade geometry with this hugely wide, kind of deep drop point blade here. Very cool. The Gander from Civivi. Link will be in the description. This is one of the bigger knives that we're reviewing today, but it's also one of the more economical. You're looking at $77 retail on this, so you might be able to even find it for a little bit cheaper. Excellent, excellent blade, especially for something like food prep, but highly recommend this, and thanks to Civivi for sending this over to us. This is actually brand new for June 26th. This actually just came out on the 26th of June. All right, lastly is this very, very big, heavy boy right here. This is, and it came in, let me show you this. It came in this enormous box from Olive Knives. Thank you so much. Been trying to get in touch with Olive Knives. They have a flipper that I really want to check out, but they are building up stock back for that. So Olive Knives only has 3 knives out right now. One of them is the Lenta flipper, I believe, and the other one is the Arbor right here. They actually have one coming out soon that's also a fixed blade. This one is a big boy, but it is also a pricey boy. This one's around $400 retail. This is the black, but you can see what kind of steel is on this, and it's L-Max steel. L-Max steel is incredibly good steel, incredibly pricey steel. I believe it's one of the newer steels out there, But you can see, and this boy is heavy right here. You've got 2 inlet holes right here and a lanyard hole, but then some micarta, kind of a textured micarta scales. And they don't skimp on the micarta either. They're nice and thick. It's 9.2 inches from stem to stern here. You've got a blade thickness of about 0.17 of an inch. It's a dropped style blade. The blade grind is a proprietary blade grind. It's called a Fibonacci blade grind. And it's kind of got this layered effect. I don't know if I like it or not, but I'll tell you what, for some food prep, cooking steak and cutting steak with this is absolutely excellent. And I was mistaken before. This is actually G10, very thick, nice G10, contoured G10 scales, but they kind of flare out and get a little bit bigger in the middle so you can get that really good top-handed grip. And this is 259 grams or 9.14 ounces. And so it's a lot heavier than you might think. Came with a very nice sheath, and it's got a belt attachment here to where this is about the only way. You're not going to be pocketing this blade. This is going to be one of those that you put on your belt. This is one of those hardcore ones. But a little bit about I didn't know any. This is my first Elmax steel knife. And so Elmax here in the Arbor from Olive Knives, the edge retention, according to sources, is excellent. So you're not going to have to sharpen this, but it is more difficult to sharpen because of the nature of the steel. It is very good on toughness, is excellent on corrosion resistance. It is a very, very, to my knowledge, again, correct me on Elmax if I'm wrong, but is a very, very high grade steel, hence the cost of this blade, because you can see that is all one piece of Elmax steel, very thick right here at 0.177, 4.5 millimeters thickness right here at the top. And then of course you've got that Fibonacci blade grind. I love this knife. I don't know that I would ever have the funds and the ability to buy one, but I love this. And this thing, you could probably chop down a tree with it. It's incredible. This is extremely heavy duty and extremely good steel. It is either a museum piece or something that will make it through World War III. So amazing stuff here from Olive Knives. I'm very much looking forward to getting some of their other knives. But they actually approached me and wanted to send me one of our fixed blades, and I was happy to talk to them about it here today. All right, so that is going to do it. Goodness gracious, we talked about some amazing fixed blade knives here today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, let me know. I could check these out in some different sheaths and different things like that. If you have any questions about the ergonomics or about the cost or anything like that, please be sure to sound off in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in. We live stream on Fridays. Now it's a little bit different here in the summer times, but we live stream on Fridays. In fact, we'll be having a live stream this Friday, and you should join us. You should also join us on our Discord. And also, if you have any religious questions about Jesus, about God, about religion in general, especially about the Bible, I would love to talk with you about that. Jesus is the most important thing in my life, or at least I try to make him most of the time the most important thing in my life. It is so difficult when there are so many things vying for your attention in this world today. So I try to do that. I'm not perfect, and I do not have all the answers, but I know that he does. So thank you so very much for being a part of the channel. Thank you so much for viewing today. Go out and have a blessed week, and God bless you all.